welcome to Morning Coffee and Guitars with James. I'm James. Today I've got my Star Trek mug, which declares that I am functioning within normal parameters. Wish that were true. Also, I've got my Taylor steel string acoustic guitar. This one is a 210 CE. Gosh, I've had this since 2013, so today is Wednesday, December 10th, 2025, so I've had this guitar for 12 years, over 12 years. Of all the guitars I have, which my collection is not that large, but of all the guitars I have, this one sees the least light of day. It's the only steel string acoustic I have. I have a few electrics. I have my two classicals, which are very precious to me. I have this. I have a travel guitar, and it's a nylon string style, and I guess that's about it. But this one, a good old Dreadnought acoustic, rarely play it. What I was playing there in the intro is called the Blackberry Blossom, and I learned that from this DVD. It's Steve Kaufman's basic bluegrass rhythm guitar. These come from Homespun Video, which they have a large collection of instructional videos. Steve Kaufman, fantastic player. He was national flat pick champion for a few years running, and anyway, very good teacher too. Some fun stuff on here. This is one of those pieces that I will show a student if the student is playing with a pick and playing this kind of guitar. At some point, once they get their chords down, it's a fun one to do because the chord changes come quick. The first half of this tune is in the key of G, and it's in 4/4 time. Every measure has two chords, and each chord gets two beats. So what we have here is G to D, C to G, C again, back to G, A7 to D7, G, D, C, G, C, G, D, G. Now, if you want to pick up the tempo, it's pretty tough. And it doesn't really sound that good. So the technique that we emphasize here is picking a bass note. It's picking a bass note and a strum, and then strumming the chord. So with every chord, you just got to hit the lowest note first. Here's my G, 1, 2, then to D, open D string, to the C, to the G, C, A7 to D7. So what this allows you to do, and it's good training, is it allows you to get out that first note before you have all your fingers in place on the chord. So I'm going for a G chord, but really if I just get that note down and pick it, then these other fingers can drop into place before the strum comes. And it's great for the D and A because you got an open string. I don't have to have any fingers down. I can hit that D and then place the chord. Going for C, I just need the third finger on that fifth string to G. A7, open A string, then comes the chord D7, open D string. So it gives you that extra time to get your fingers in place. And I think a lot of beginning guitarists, they see chords and they think they have to have everything down before they do anything with their picking hand. And if I wait till my fretting hand is in place before I pick, you can see there's just a gap between every one. It's not smooth. So the goal of that practice routine. Also, there's kind of a melody built into the bass note. sort of. So the second half of this piece takes it down to E minor. E minor is the relative minor of G major. And the chords there is really just E minor and B7. And then it comes out of it the same way. It kind of throws us back to G with the C, G, D, G. But for the first large part of the second half, it stays on E minor forever, and it hits a B7 and goes back to E minor. So we have to do some things to make it more interesting. So if you just take out the fancy stuff, you would have this. You stay on that same chord forever. So I learned all this from the video, and it's pretty cool. You can throw in alternating bass there. Make it a little more interesting. But he throws in some little bass drums. Throw in some hammer-ons on those alternating bass notes. And drop the E chord there completely for that measure, and walk the bass line up to the B7. And there's another one in there. Fancy little lick there. Back to E minor. And that takes you back to the top. It's a fun piece to play. You should look into it. I just showed you all the chords and gave you some ideas, so get after it. Well, get some coffee first. Well, thanks for joining me today for Morning Coffee and Guitar. I'll be back very soon, maybe even tomorrow. And until that time, you have a good day. We'll see you in the next one. So you never know what I'll be doing in the next video. It could be more of this, it could be the electric guitar, it could be my classical guitar, I could be talking about other subjects related to guitar, such as my amps, my cabinets that I've built, ideas I got going on in my head for other projects. We'll see you.